Salamanca rests smiling on its 3 hills, sleeps to the sound of mandolins, and wakes up startled by the shouting of her students. A quote by the famous writer Victor Hugo about this ancient Spanish city. Situated in the western part of Spain, in the community of Castilla y León, the city of Salamanca has its origins in the Iron Age. Since then, this city has witnessed the passage of various peoples like the Romans, the Visigoths, and the Muslims. Salamanca is home to the oldest active university in Spain and the 3rd in Europe. Founded in the year 1218, it was the first in Europe to hold the title of university by the royal decree of Alfonso X the Wise. During the time when it was one of the most prestigious universities in the West, the phrase "Quod natura non dat, Salmantica non prestat," or "What nature does not give, Salamanca does not lend," became most popular. And even though its cathedral stands out above the cityscape, maybe the first thing to visit in Salamanca should be its university. The University of Salamanca was born as a university inclined towards the legal disciplines, in line with the University of Bologna, and in contrast with the universities of Oxford and Paris, more focused on theology and arts. But studies in medicine, logic, grammar, and music were also taught. The University of Salamanca was the first in Europe to have a public library. Classes were taught in Latin, which facilitated the international mobility of teachers and students, as it was the language used throughout Europe. The main destinations for the students were Bologna, Paris, and Montpellier. In the 18th century, especially during the reign of Charles III, reforms were carried out that made the University of Salamanca one of the main focuses of the Spanish Enlightenment. Full attention was given to the development of medicine, physics, mathematics, and classical literature. The second thing to visit in Salamanca is without a doubt its cathedral. The Cathedral of the Assumption of the Virgin, or the New Cathedral, began its construction in 1513, and it was inaugurated in August 1733, mixing late Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles. This cathedral was built next to the old one. At first, they planned to demolish the old one, but in the end, they left it open to the public until the new one was built. When works were finished, they reconsidered the idea of destroying it, and with good judgment too, since it is an incredible example of the Gothic and Romanesque style. This old cathedral was constructed between the 12th and the 13th centuries in a predominantly Romanesque style, but with already Gothic influences, since this new artistic current was invading Europe at the time. The most notable element of the monument is its considerable dome that rises above the transept. Supported by 4 impressive pendentives and whose construction date must be around the year 1150. The south wall of the new cathedral rests upon the old one, and it is, along with that of Segovia, one of the last 2 Gothic-style cathedrals to be built in Spain. At the end of the 16th century, the head, designed with a Gothic ambulatory, was changed to a flat one, and during the 18th century 2 elements were added that strikingly broke with the predominant style of the temple: a Baroque dome over the transept and the upper bodies of the bell tower. This bell tower measures 93 meters in height and was constructed also over the old bell tower of the old cathedral. Its main facade, tremendously profuse in details, among them stand out the reliefs of the scenes of the birth and of the Epiphany, all sheltered under a large ogee arch that is culminated by a superb Calvary. flanked by the effigies of the Saint Peter and Saint Paul. The two fronts of the transept, north and south, also have monumental gates that follow the late Gothic models mentioned above, but which cannot hide the advanced chronology in which they were constructed. Its execution takes place in the Baroque era and follows the criteria of the unity of style. Walking towards the Plaza Mayor, you can find the third thing to visit in Salamanca, which is the Casa de las Conchas, or translated House of the Shells. Of late Gothic style combined with new airs of Renaissance Plateresque, La Casa de las Conchas began its construction around 1493 and it was completed in 1517. In 1929 it was declared a national monument. La Casa de las Conchas is an urban palace that best represents the new courtesan nobility of the 16th century. The building was built by order of Rodrigo Maldonado de Talavera, Knight of the Order of Santiago and Professor of Law at the University of Salamanca. It is an original building that combines Gothic, Renaissance and Mudejar elements. The most notable thing is undoubtedly its facade, decorated with more than 300 shells and multiple coats of arms and shields. Following the downward street, Calle de la Compañía, and leaving the clergy building on the left, constructed between the 17th and the 18th centuries in a Baroque style, we find the fourth thing you should definitely visit in Salamanca, the palace Palacio de Monterrey. The Monterrey Palace is one of the greatest exponents of the Plateresque artistic style, also called Plateresque Gothic or Proto-Renaissance. Its construction began in 1539 and it became one of the most representative works of the Spanish Renaissance, although it is an unfinished building because its complete project was much larger. Its image, with towers and sumptuous decorations, symbolizes the great nobility of the Spanish Golden Age. Taking the street to the right from the Palace of Monterrey, we arrive at the Plaza Mayor, or the Great Square. Constructed in the 18th century in a predominantly Baroque style, the Plaza Mayor de Salamanca is one of the most beautiful urban monumental squares in Europe. The square is not a perfect square, and none of its facades measure the same. On the facade of the Royal Pavilion, the image of King Ferdinand III, El Santo, stands out, and the medallions on the spandrels of its arches represent Spanish monarchs, illustrious soldiers or conquerors, and cultural figures. The sixth thing to visit in Salamanca would be the Convento de San Esteban. The convent of San Esteban is a Dominican convent built between the 16th and the 17th centuries. Although it is considered an excellent example of the Plateresque style, the length of its construction phases explains the mixtures of styles ranging from late Gothic to Baroque. The doorway of the church is one of the most beautiful examples of Plateresque style architecture. Some other things to visit in Salamanca is the Casa Lis, which is a modernist mansion built over the old canvas of the city wall, and also an Art Deco and Art Nouveau museum. The Roman bridge that crosses the Tormes River is an amazing place to take a stroll and witness the beautiful panoramic of the Salamanca Old Town in all its splendor, with the cathedral towering above the neighboring buildings. And of course, as in our latest videos, the seventh thing not to visit but to try when you are in Salamanca are their Iberian products, mainly jamón ibérico, chorizo and salchichón. This part of Spain is famous for breeding Iberian pigs, which in turn makes it one of the perfect places in Spain to buy these type of products. There are shops all around the town, and you can even try the typical bocadillo de jamón or Iberian ham sandwich before deciding which product to buy. But I do warn you, you'll have a hard time deciding what to buy, for the products are really good. So these are the top things to visit in Salamanca. My name is Alex Moraras. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, share, comment, and definitely subscribe to find out more amazing places to visit before you come to Spain.